tell them what feels right, not what you think they want to hear. Get out of that mindset of like, I have to sacrifice my happiness in order to get my happiness. Hello cutie, welcome back, and if you are new here, then hi, I'm Shavion, and we're just gonna dive right in. I low-key want this to be a video to all creatives and purpose walkers to get started like right now. I've consistently been in this content creator space for a little over a year now, and so far we've grown 13,000 cuties in our garden. Now in the beginning I thought I had to be a Kai Sanat in order to be seen, and it honestly made me feel like I didn't belong in this landscape. I also didn't know what one thing I wanted to do. I knew I loved painting, drawing, crafting, film, photography, nature, traveling, and what feels like a list that goes on forever. There's so many dreams I want to work towards as well. I want to build a wellness center, open a museum, work on a farm, expand our food supply. I want to learn the bass and skydive without an instructor. There's so much in my head that genuinely lights me up, but when I'd bring that excitement outside of myself, I'd immediately feel shut down and like I needed to humble myself in a way. It felt impossible to niche down and embody the personality of a true YouTuber, but fortunately, like I spoke on in my last video, that call to inspire and bring awareness to the collective would not shut up, even on the nights where I didn't have the strength to turn in an assignment, when I cried because I didn't want to clock back in. Those moments where I felt weak and questioned if I'd ever be on solid ground, I still felt pulled to remind you all that you would. Now, I think what's really given me a strong foundation for consistent uploads is creating a flexible schedule that accommodates both my ADHD and fatigue that comes with being a full-time student and employee that's also trying to actively heal generational pain. So yeah, I break the video making process into separate components to complete over a span of time. That way I'm not getting like super overwhelmed and start to spiral and then get super depressed because I'm not doing nothing and feel worthless. And so to avoid all of that, I'll normally do 2 days for scripting, 1 day for filming, and 2 days for editing. Now, even though I have all of these responsibilities and obligations, I keep my to-do list pretty light by blocking out time for specific things on specific days. From having such a full plate, personally, I've learned that it's really better to stretch things over a longer period of time and give yourself more time to get things done instead of trying to maximize out each day, because like you're gonna be prone to burnout. And I just know this is true for me. You may need more or less accommodation. You really have to figure out how much you can carry in a day. But yeah, I'll talk about discipline a bit more in a later point, but truthfully, all of this can be done in vain if you don't honor the actual creative process.
You're the prettiest hooker here.
Hey, I am not a hooker.
You're not?
No!
Great. Well, if you're not a hooker, and you're not a hooker, then where the hell are all the hookers?
Know that creativity happens to you. It does not operate on the same systems that we've been taught to oil. So take time to do absolutely nothing, okay? Like, know that you have time to explore all of your interests, even if not today. It's not necessarily about scaling back, but taking it one step at a time. And I don't know, I just feel like honoring that space of doing nothing really allows ideas to come to us. Like, I feel like all the greats always tell you, like, they have gotten their best ideas when they were literally just sitting on a beach somewhere or taking a shower, not actively working through the problem or actively trying to solve it. You have to give your mind time to rest and to allow ideas to flow to you, because I genuinely feel like ideas are like these like little entities that we don't necessarily understand, but they're like constantly trying to find a host to be expressed through. And when you don't allow yourself to be a vessel for those ideas, because you're so busy and always moving around and always trying to get ahead and always hustling. One of my friends sent me like a passage from a book recently where it was talking about how as an artist you're an antenna, and a lot of the times creatives and artists, like, we have very sensitive antennas because we feel things very deeply, and these sensitive antennas is what allows the ideas to come to us in the first place, because it's kind of like that antenna sends out like a little beacon of light, even for it to attract, you know, this higher knowledge that we can't necessarily understand. As you take these ideas in through your channel of feeling, you transmute them and you give it out to the world in whatever form of art that you have to offer. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just feel like a lot of things are 50% feelings, thoughts, and inspiration when it comes down to creating something of lasting effect. And when we don't allow ourselves to feel and be open to receiving, we miss out on being able to create something great, because those ideas, those entities, they aren't going to wait for you to start stressing and worrying about X, Y, and Z and what Sam and Sasha is doing up the street for you to be like, hey, let me actually lock in on this calling and see what this idea, see what I can birth through this idea. Like, no, it's just gonna find a different host to express itself through. And that's actually a good segue into my next point.
These are the signs of an individual who is afraid of life itself. Happily, since this specimen is too nervous to speak to a female, its chances of breeding are slender to nil. Now, if you will, I shall splay the subject and reveal the absolute absence of any guts whatsoever.
Now, I feel like you'll know that it's time to start that YouTube channel or start that clothing line or make that art piece when you've been in that meditative state for so long that it's honestly not even a meditative state anymore. You're just dissociating and freaking floating through life. Like, eventually that calling and that idea will start to get quieter. Like, it'll still be there, but it'll just be way quieter, and some days you won't hear it, and that shit is gonna scare you. Like, eventually you're gonna get scared of losing that calling. You're gonna get scared to lose the outcome of that dream, and it'll get you off your ass. Like, that is personally what happened to me. Like, I just like found that there were like some days where I didn't think about like having a YouTube channel and inspiring people, and like that shit that scared me. Like, I'm like, bro, like, so what the fuck am I here for? And it made me say, just like, fuck it, like, let me just do something. Let me do something to honor this part of me. As you begin to step into this, there is no more feeding other people's ego or your own. Give them what you have, not what you think they need. Tell them what feels right, not what you think they want to hear. Give them what you have, not what you think they need. Okay, you really got to get out of this whole idea of like being a perfectionist and that your work has to be perfected before you can share it. It doesn't have to be this Kai Cenat or Kanye level work of art for it to have just as much of an impact. Trust in your imperfections. Trust in your process. People are looking through the cracks of your work and seeing more. They're seeing more than what you even saw in it through your time of creating these things. Like, they're able to look through those imperfect cracks and feel what you were feeling as you were creating this thing, and feel into something that is just so much deeper than all of us, that eventually will inspire them to go on that date or accept that job offer or move across the country and start a different movie. Like, you have to understand the ripple effects of such a small thing that you can, like, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but really get out of that mindset of needing to perfect things. You don't have to show up in a certain way to bring value. The fact that you are showing up is the value. You are the value. Please, if you leave with nothing else, leave with that you are valuable as as is, and that we are ready to receive you and see what it is that you are trying to express to us, to the collective. And another thing that I have learned is discipline over sacrifice. Like when I started YouTube, like this past year, honestly, like I felt like I could not have friends, I could not socialize, I could not have quality family time. Like I felt like I really just had to stay in the house and like film, and that's literally what I have been doing. I literally did not go anywhere. Like I felt like I could not have fun unless I recorded a video. I could not just could not relax, and I felt like I had to sacrifice friendships in order to get the success that I'm looking for, because I'm like, you know, all the people that I see that have made it are always like preaching how, you know, they barely slept at night and they barely talked to anyone and all they did was grind. It's like, oh my God, can we please get out of this fucking hustle bustle grind mindset? Like, yes, work hard, yes, be dedicated, yes, be consistent, but also love the process, also enjoy the process, find joy in it, find ways to enjoy this. Life is supposed to be enjoyed. The work that you do is supposed to be good work. It's not supposed to be this draining, impossible, daunting task that you have to do. So get out of that mindset of like, I have to sacrifice my happiness in order to get my happiness. You see how it doesn't make sense? Like, y'all, I'm trying to do better. I finally started reaching out to people more and like just being okay with like linking up, even though I didn't post a video. Like, it's okay. Like, maybe you need to go out to a restaurant with your friend in order to get out of that creative block that you've been in the past 3 days. Give yourself permission to love who you are right now, to love what you can create right now, to love the process, to love what you are doing in this moment. Let me know in the comments if I'm making sense, or if you kind of like get stuck in that mindset too, where you feel like you have to sacrifice your happiness for your happiness. Or am I just a little cuckoo?
Some guy's watching you from across the street.
Yes? Oh, he's always doing that. I think he's kind of cute. And he takes a cab home from work, sometimes 3 times a week. So he's got a good job. Come over.
And once you honor your creative process, all that's left to do is integrate it into your everyday life, get into a flow, and pay attention to the details of your results. Okay, now this part of the video is a bit more unorganized because I really just have a list of points that I wanted to share with y'all that I feel has helped me in my video making process. I honestly will probably update this and let me know if y'all will be interested in that, like doing like a part 2 to this, because I'll actually be graduating in the spring with a marketing degree, and I'm literally taking a digital marketing class this semester. So I feel like I'll have a more well-rounded view on all of this. Something that really helped me to get out of that imposter syndrome thinking was to give myself proof. I had to give myself proof that I was capable of creating at least an outline for a good video. So I literally have a full book, y'all. I have a book that is filled to the brim with video ideas and scripts that I would write out when I was like going on a long trip, or if I was just sitting somewhere doing nothing. I would literally just write out an entire like good ass script, y'all, and I would read it back to myself like, damn, like this is actually some good shit. Like I did that for like 3 or 4 months before I even turned on the camera, y'all. I don't know, maybe you don't need to fill an entire book with a script, but maybe just writing a list of 100 video ideas and know that, okay, I at least have somewhere to start. Give yourself a starting point. Is maybe a better way to say it. Maybe not give yourself proof. Also, if you plan on making videos on YouTube, pay close attention to the hook. That first 6 seconds, that hook, like you really gotta hook them in. Honestly, I don't do my hook until the very end of like my editing process, unless I'm like editing through and I like see a good clip. I'm like, okay, I'm spinning here, and I'll just go ahead and drag it to the front of the video. People have very short attention spans, and you need to let them know what value they're gonna receive. So you can just say something like, today we're gonna be talking about, or get off your ass. Maybe don't curse, but I hope you get what I'm saying here. Another thing is allow your niche to create itself, unless you like completely already know what niche you want to get into. But if you don't know what niche you necessarily like fit into, just allow yourself to flow into it. Don't limit yourself to these boxes that people try to put you in. You can literally create a whole new lane that only you know how to cruise down and that people will value you for. So don't feel the need to niche down so quickly. Know that you are the niche, okay? You are the niche, period. Of course, the most basic one, put effort into your thumbnail. For me personally, I feel like my thumbnails didn't start to get better until I started understanding my audience better. Like, y'all are some very, 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 very artsy, creative, like big thinking people. So me using like Renaissance type of art and like, y'all see how my thumbnails look like that. Y'all love that shit. Like, y'all vibe with it. I vibe with it. Like, definitely like see like what do you vibe with? What pulls you in? Like, ask yourself like what pulls you in? Like, what visuals do you like to see? And incorporate that style into your thumbnails. I would say definitely just look at a bunch of thumbnails on YouTube. Screenshot the pages and Photoshop the thumbnail that you created onto the page as well. And like literally ask yourself, would I click on this video? Would I click on my video out of all these other thumbnails? And ask other people as well. Like, you really just, it's like a trial and error thing, but like the more effort you put into it, the more you'll get into a flow with creating clickable thumbnails. But they definitely aren't lying when they say that thumbnails are super important, because they really are. Another point that I have is to have more brainstorming sessions, like literally just hours where you're just jotting down ideas or where you're just pondering ideas. I would really say write them down, honestly. I personally have a Google Doc where I just have like literally a list of different videos that I want to do, and like I'll be riding in the car and I'll randomly get an idea and I'll just write it down. Even if I don't ever film the video, just having those ideas there, because it's like when you get into like a little creative rut, you can always go back to that list, read them back. Even if you don't want to create those videos, it will give you inspiration for something else. I feel like having more options and variety allows us to not get stagnant with the type of content that we're creating, which in this type of landscape is important, because you don't want to get stagnant. You want to continue connecting with your audience and being inspired and feeling good about the type of content that you're creating. So really just take more time to brainstorm. And again, if y'all would like that list of video ideas that I have, I am happy to share them with y'all. Just comment that down below. And the last thing that I want to share that I feel has helped me to create this space is that I genuinely read every single comment. Like, I don't reply to every single comment. I try to reply to as many as I can. I know y'all be seeing me in the comment section, but like, I feel like I just connect so deeply with every single cutie in our garden, y'all. Like, when I tell y'all we are connected, I swear, I really just feel like we are just tapped into the same part of the collective consciousness, and there's really this unexplainable like little connection we have here. Like, I really be seeing y'all say things like it feels like I'm reading y'all's diary. Like, that shit is not light. Like, it's not something that's light. Like, I genuinely value the connection that we have here, and I value that I can go into my comment section and it's really just all love, and it's y'all sharing y'all experiences and y'all story. Like, a lot of creators avoid their comment section. Like, they hate going into their comment section, but I really appreciate the space that we have created here. I don't know if that's just a benefit or if it's also something that's helped me, but I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand. You have to have belief in what you are building and belief in the people that you are building this with. I feel a little shy sometimes expressing love because of my little rough history, but like, I just really do appreciate y'all. And oof, like goodness, I'm just so excited for what this year is going to bring. Y'all just do not understand the amount of validation and like confirmation that y'all have been bringing me, because I've wanted to do this for so long and I've just felt like just so incapable for so freaking long, and it's like I'm finally stepping into it and y'all are just so welcoming and just so here with me, and I'm like, what the fuck? We're really doing this shit right now. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know where we're even going with this, but I know that we're going far, and I just thank you for being here with me, and I'm excited to see what we will grow into. But yeah, if you're building a channel, and even if it's not a channel, like connect with your audience, connect with your people in your industry and in your space. Like that connection, that community really makes a fucking difference. So yeah.
You're always a troublemaker. What are you talking about?
If you two kids don't stop bickering, I am going to turn this car around right now.
Sorry, Mom. Bitch.
You better watch your mouth, young lady.
But yeah, I really just wanted to film this as a sign for you to get out of your fucking head and get started. Stop trying to talk yourself out of it. Stop making excuses. Stop trying to figure out how it's gonna pan out and like wanting to know every single step and trying to overanalyze every hurdle that you'll have to overcome in order, like, you don't know anything. You don't know how any of it is gonna feel and be like until you are actually in it. So step into it. Step into you. It may not feel like you right now to embody that you are an artist, to embody that you are a creative. But once you give yourself that space to express and that space to get your proof in the pudding, you'll see how natural it actually is for you. You'll feel how this has always been who you were. You were just too stifled by expectations of what you should be doing. And it doesn't have to be hard, bro. Affirm to yourself that it can be easy for me. It is easy for me. It is natural for me. I think that's even better than easy. This is natural for me because things aren't going to be easy. Like, it's not always easy for me to show up. Like, it took so long for me to like sit down and film because like I live in Richmond, Virginia, and if y'all don't know, our water has literally been out for like 4 days, and like, oh my gosh, this is the first week of 2025, y'all, and I'm like, it wasn't easy for me to just sit down and film, but guess what? It still feels natural for me to take that time and for me to even be fighting through the obstacles to try to calm my mind down, to sit down and record. Like, it feels natural for me. And I just hope that you're able to step into what feels natural for you and not what has been projected onto you and what has been expected of you. Yeah, look, I'm always going to be here to encourage you to tap into your rebellious energy and fucking make that impact that you want to make. Like, yes, that's what we're doing on this channel. That's what we're doing in this garden. All my little cuties are like little rebellious, creative, artsy, big thinking, like beautiful energy ass just beings. Like, I love y'all so fucking much, and yeah, I just appreciate y'all. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. I hope that you enjoy. Remember to check the description if you would like to join our Discord or listen to the audio version of this. But yeah, happy calendar new year. I hope it has been starting out good for y'all. Comment any new year resolutions that you have, or if you resonated with anything that I spoke on today, and if you're trying to start a channel yourself and what has been working out for you that, you know, you can pass on to a fellow creator, because we are all here to build each other up and provide hugs when hugs are needed, which is honestly all the fucking time. So comment something nice in the comment section, and yeah, you're gonna leave without subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Like the video if you enjoyed, and share it. Share the video with someone that you think it may benefit. Oh, I almost forgot. Cuties unite in the chat. Comment a orange emoji if you have made it this far. My cuties, like, y'all, I love our name. Like, cuties, like, stop. That's cute. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
This is not real.